Hello gaming fans, Conan here. Friend and I have been playing this wonderful map mod called The Legend of Shem. Let's check out the map real quick. Look at this big old map. It's absolutely wonderful. Plenty of places to explore and run around to. See, we got a few things broken out. So the reason why I'm making this video is my friend and I were looking around for tips and where to find things. And we couldn't really find anything because the mod's so new, so I thought I'd make a video about it. So the first thing we're going to start with here is just a beginner walkthrough, what to do when you first fire the game up. So just like Exile lands, you want to follow this road down here, you run into a wrecked caravan. And here we are at the wrecked cart. Got a few dead bodies there, some vultures pecking at them. What you want is right here at this sign. Right beside it will be a water skin. Make sure you pick your water skin up. This mod has a brutal heating system and you'll overheat fairly quickly. So I exited creative mode here to let you guys see it. Up in the left there you'll see I'm already at extremely hot. So when you first fire the game up, it won't quite hit you that hard, but it will eventually. So once you get to this point here, what you want to do is open up your map and take a look at this road here. You want to follow this one right here. It'll take you all the way up to this bridge right here. You don't want to stop and mess around and do too much exploring because you're going to be overheating. So you just want to make sure you make a beeline right to this place. And I'll go over some of the pitfalls you might find on the way. Okay, this is probably the first people you'll run into. So right here on the map, this is called Nomads of Stygia. These guys are hostile. When you're at low level, you're probably not going to be able to beat them. So what I would do, when you're coming up the road here, hug that cliff face right there and go right up along it. Right after you get past these guys, there's going to be a couple rock noses up there. If I were you guys, I would just keep running right past them as well. Here we are at the river Styx at this bridge crossing. So this is a spot where you want to refill your water skin, put your campfire down, make some food, and get yourself ready for the next part of your adventure. Now, one thing about this river system here is if you look at the map here, it stretches from one end of the map to the other. If you want to find aloe, which I'd recommend you grab some before you head up here to the city, search around here and try and grab yourself a bunch before you leave. Just be mindful that there's plenty of alligators along this place, so you're probably going to be dodging them while you're trying to do it. Though it shouldn't be too difficult. Right up there is a good spot to get some aloe. And here we are at the big city of Abadra. Now this is the starter place they want you to start at. Once you get to this general area, the enemies like right in this general area ain't too terribly hard. It's like right up here it's mostly dogs and birds. If you need to make some levels you can go up there and fight them. It's not too terribly difficult. Now one thing I thought was really neat about this mod, so if we go up here, we got a bunch of merchants. This guy here is a money changer.
You can walk out of here with a bargain or a frown, your choice.
So once you go onto here, if you have some ancient obelisk or some silver coins, you can change them into gold coins, or you can also, I believe, turn it into silver, which I thought was pretty neat. Then you go over here, and there's a rancher. Here you can buy all kind of animals. You got foals, which are horses, camels, rhinos, all kind of good stuff. You go deeper into the city and there's plenty of merchants there for you to talk to. They have all kind of different kind of weapons, armor, and other resources for you. Okay guys, I just showed you the merchants. So you might be asking yourself, hey Mr. Kozvos, where can I get money to buy all this stuff at? I'm low level and I can't really beat any human people right yet, so where do I get money? Well, I'm going to show you here. What you want to do is right here at the main road outside, just follow this north. You'll see here, you just keep following north, north, north. Eventually it'll take you to this place here called the Crossroads Bazaar. This is where you want to go to get gold. So I'm going to take you guys up there and we're going to check it out. Here we are at the Crossroads Bazaar. This is the place you want to go to sell all your stuff, and I'll show you guys what this is all about. So first we're going to go up here to these two people. This lady here, she is a farmer. This guy here, he's a seed seller. So if you go up and talk to him, she will have a list of a whole bunch of stuff on here. As you see, there's plant fiber, berries, glowing goop at the bottom. That one's definitely something you want to keep an eye out for. For every 400 plant fiber, she's going to give you 1 gold. Getting 400 plant fiber ain't that hard, but getting a whole bunch of it to get enough money to buy stuff can take quite a bit. So if you go down here and grab a whole bunch of glowing goop from the river, you can carry a lot more of it. You can make a decent amount of money off of it. This guy as well, he's a seed seller. He just has any of the seeds you find, you can sell them to him. You can even sell basic grass seeds to him. 200 of them will give you 1 gold. However, you might think to yourself, hey Mr. Exlies, that's a good bit of work I gotta do to gather up all that stuff just to get a little bit of gold. So I'm going to show you an easier way to get a decent amount of gold. So right here is these two fellas, they're your best friends. We got a metallurgist and an ore trader. So if we talk to the ore trader here first, we'll go here and we'll see for 2,000 stone he'll give you 10 gold. So for these trade values, you can see you get a good bit more gold out of it per stack of thing. So these kind of guys are what you want to sell your stuff to. However, if you look here, 500 ironstone for 10 gold. If we go over to this guy, you'll see
my stock is limited, so buy now.
That he has iron bars, iron reinforcements, and all this stuff that he's willing to buy from you. Now 20 iron bars is worth 20 gold. So that's 1 bar for 1 gold, which is quite efficient compared to what the other guy was selling you. 500 iron stone will give you, when smelted, will come out to be about 200 to 250 iron bars. So it's much more efficient to sell them to this guy. That's 250 bucks instead of only 10, right? So make sure you sell it to this guy. Don't bother selling to that guy. Plus it's easier to walk around with the iron bars than it is to walk around with the iron stone. Okay guys, that's it for the basic walkthrough. So let's get into some secrets. So there's a lot of stuff to explore in this mod, but you definitely have to be careful and look very hard sometimes to find stuff. So just for an example of that, I'm going to show you a couple things here. So right here in the starter town, there's a nice little sewer system. Before you go down in here, make sure you got yourself a torch. It's very dark, so you want to make sure you can see. What you want to do is just come on down this little corridor here, and it'll take you out into this area here. As you see right there is a nice thief character. Let's go over here and take a good look at him. So these guys here are pretty strong, so when you're lower level, you don't want to really come down here and mess around. My friend and I, when we were fighting these guys, we kept getting one-shotted, and it was very, very rough. Like, their hit points are only about 400, but God, they were hitting really hard. Now, I'll show you one reason why that is. So if we go over here to server settings, you'll see this is what we had our settings set at. Normally, most of these are set at 0.5. My friends and I like it a little bit harder, so we bumped it up to 1.0. However, in this mod, it seemed like they adjusted the enemies to be a little bit stronger than normal, so just keep this in mind when you're playing. Probably want to keep it at default settings. Alright, let's show you guys some secrets. So you see that interesting mark over there? What you do is come on over here to this wall, and just simply press E on it. Hey, look at that! A secret door! Oh, I think that is really freaking awesome. Then you can come on in here, you battle some more thieves. Now we didn't explore much further because we want to save it for ourselves. But we thought that was neat when we found it. This is how you get to it right here. Just go over here, jump on over, make sure you hug the wall. When you get to this part, it's super easy to fall down into this stuff. So just balance on this beam, walk on over here, and there you go. Now this water here is very deadly. You hear my character? She's making all kind of noises. So that water is like basically acid. It'll kill you in about like 20 seconds. So make sure you do your best not to fall into that stuff. If you do, right here beside this guy is a ladder to get back up. Here's another area that me and my friend stumbled across. This nice little cave here. Take a look at the map. It is called the Dank Cave. As you see, it's right south of the starting area. I wouldn't recommend coming here on your way up through. But once you get yourself a couple weapons, once you get yourself a couple levels, some iron weapons and armor, then you might want to come down here and check this place out. So let's go on in. Alright guys, so this is one thing about this cave that's nice, is you see right behind me there's some brimstone. So if you need brimstone, this is a good place to come. I found a few other spots that have it, but they were like in lakes with that poison gas, like that one spot in the exile lands. So you're probably not ready to do that right away, but if you need brimstone, come here, and this place is pretty easy to get it. There's just spiders running around. Alright, so here we are at the bottom of the cave. Me and my friend explored this out, and when we got here, my friend got to this point and he's like, "Oh man, we can't go any further, this sucks." Well, I took a look at these rocks and I was like, you know what, they look like the kind of rocks that you can break. So I went up to them and started beating them like this, and sure enough, you could break them. Now check this out, look, right behind there's a freaking passageway. So when you're playing this game, make sure you do stuff like this. God, there's so many little hidden things all over the place. Once you get through, just continue on down. Alright, so here we are at the very end part of the cave. Now there's more to do here, but we go up to this door and hit E. Skeleton key required. So we couldn't advance anymore. We didn't get any skeleton keys yet, but can't wait to get one and check that place out. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff like this in this game that's just hidden, and you gotta really search for it. So make sure you search out every little nook and cranny to find every little thing that you can. Alright guys, I'd like to go over the enemies that you find in the game. So as you see behind me, there's a bunch of elephants. There seems to be every kind of enemy, both from the exiled lands and the Isle of Sipida. As far as we can tell, the animals are exactly the same as they are in the other game. The animals are exactly the same as they are in the base game. However, when it comes to the human enemies, they seem to be a little bit harder. We are at a Stygian war camp, so you'll find these places scattered around. Just be careful when you deal with these places. There's quite a few enemies in here, and they're fairly powerful. Just keep that in mind when you're exploring. You probably don't want to mess with the NPCs right away. If you have some friends with you, you might be alright, but by yourself, it's definitely a tall order to kill these guys. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of the video here, so I'm just going to give a quick rundown on the tips. So remember, what you first want to do here, you're going to start at north of Luxor here. You just want to follow this road the whole way up until you get to the bridge here. Stop here, get yourself water, food, maybe grab some aloe, and then head on up here to the main noob city. Then from there, once you get yourself set up, head up here to the bazaar and start getting yourself some money. So one little tip I'd like to add too is, see my bedroll back there, or my bed? This area back here you can actually build in. So you don't even have to leave the city to build your little starter house. You can just build it right back there. Okay guys, this is WalkThrough saying goodbye. I hope these tips can help you guys out a little bit in your beginning of your journey. And as always, I hope you have lots of fun gaming out there.